Let's be honest, selling on Amazon isn't always sunshine and dollar signs. Like when I started, I made some huge mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars, and I learned a lot of lessons the hard way. So today, I'm sharing exactly what went wrong, why I lost all that money, and how you can avoid making the same costly mistakes that I made along my journey over the last 5 years. Let's talk about my first big mistake, rushing product research. When I first got into Amazon FBA, the very first product that I launched was successful. And for other products that I launched, it was almost like I completely forgot the fact that it was a winning product market that made that product successful to begin with. With those other products, I saw other sellers performing well, and I assumed I could just take a piece of that market because, hey, my first product that I launched was successful, right? But here's the truth. If you rush product research, you're setting yourself up to lose money, like I did when I picked a product based on gut rather than data. I didn't look deep enough into things like the market analysis, competition, and most importantly, profit margins. And guess what? I ended up competing in a market that was too competitive and too saturated for a new seller. And that initial investment, let's just say it didn't end with sunshine and dollar signs. If I could go back, I'd make sure to always focus on products that had solid demand, lower competition, and really dig into the numbers to make sure that I was profitable before ever placing a bulk order. I learned that solid product research is everything. Now, when you're just starting out, dealing with manufacturers can be a real challenge, and this is another lesson that I learned the hard way. One of the biggest ways that I lost money, $12,000 to be exact, was by not dealing with manufacturers in the right way. I had placed an order with a brand new manufacturer after approving the product samples were good quality, and I was super stoked to be working with this new manufacturer and everything was going great. I remember receiving some of those units, and it just so happens that some of that shipment was going to my house, and I opened up some of the boxes just to find out that almost every single unit was damaged. So I reached out to the manufacturer and they assured me that they were gonna fix everything and it was just one big mistake. They said all I needed to do was create a case on Alibaba. So I did just that, just to wake up in the morning to see that they completely lied to Alibaba and said that I was in the wrong. I tried to dispute it, but ultimately I lost the case because I took communication off of Alibaba, which is against their terms of service, and my bank couldn't help me because I paid through a wire transfer, not a credit card. Which ultimately sucked, but I learned a lot. Like now, I always keep communication on Alibaba. I make sure the manufacturer has trade assurance, is verified, been in business for at least 2 years, and has a good star rating on Alibaba. And I always make sure to pay through a credit card, not a wire transfer. Mistake number 3 is I didn't put enough effort into standing out and differentiating my product from the competition. I thought just by listing a product on Amazon, I was entitled to sales, but if there's nothing unique about your products, buyers have no reason to choose it over others, especially if you have less reviews, which you likely will. I learned that having a product that stands out, whether a unique design or adding a bonus item relevant to the product, really makes a difference. Think of it like this. Why would somebody buy your product versus a competitor that was identical that had hundreds more reviews and a lower price? Differentiation gives you a competitive edge to help you make sales even in markets that have other competition. Now when I launch a product, I always focus on how I can add value and stand out in some way. A little extra time and effort on differentiation can prevent a product just sitting at Amazon's fulfillment centers. Alright, now let's talk about Amazon PPC ads. My first mistake? Thinking I could just throw money at PPC ads and watch the sales roll in. When I first started selling on Amazon, PPC ads was one of the things that I was worst at. I set up campaigns with no clear structure, no clear strategy, and the result was a lot of unnecessary spend. I learned the hard way that PPC is a skill. You can't just set it up and forget it. Now I always start small, test different keywords, track my performance constantly, and make optimizations based on the data. I'm not just throwing in a bunch of keywords in one campaign, all different match types, and hoping for the best. But if you guys want a more in-depth guide on my exact PPC structure and how I set up my campaigns, let me know down below in the comments. Fast forward to today, I consider myself one of the best at Amazon PPC ads. and had I had the right strategies from the beginning, I would have saved myself a lot of cash and frustration. To succeed with PPC ads, you have to learn the ins and outs. You have to keep adjusting and understand where your tacos, ACOS, and conversion needs to be. I became a PPC expert by seeking out any and every piece of information I can get on the topic, and most important, by testing and implementing the things that I learned into my own campaigns. And remember, PPC can boost sales, but if your listing isn't optimized, then you're gonna struggle to convert those clicks into actual sales. So there it is, the mistakes that cost me thousands selling on Amazon. And looking back on it, each one of these was a tough lesson, but ultimately they helped me become the Amazon seller that I am today. And my hope in sharing these experiences is you avoid the mistakes that I made along my journey. But on that note, if you want to learn my exact tips and strategies and to have me as your personal mentor along your journey, be sure to check out my Amazon FBA private label mentorship program in the description of this video. I truly believe it is the Harvard of Amazon private label education. So if you're ready to take your Amazon game to the next level, this program is for you. But on that note, don't forget to like and comment on this video. It really helps out the channel a lot. And as always, have a blessed day, ladies and gentlemen.